chance to advance to Sunday right here. Oh my, Gabe, Tardio, and are through to Championship Sunday. What a moment for the 35-year-olds. Romanian Tower #1, Andre Diescu.
PPA Salt Lake City just wrapped. This was the 5th straight week of pickleball, and guess what? We're doing it again. And I have a major announcement about that Las Vegas tournament. Stick around to find out. Let's not waste any time. Please like, subscribe, send this video to a friend. Let's break down all the action, starting with men's singles. We'll start things off in the round of 16, where 14-seeded Rafa Hewitt had himself a day, getting a body bag on Tyson McGuffin, able to round him up, get the win, advancing to the quarterfinals, where he would play Grayson Golden, one of the biggest up-and-comers on the men's singles team. But Rafa, that two-handed backhand was just too much, and look at that. On to the semis, we get Rafa versus Connor Garnett. Two guys with great two-handed backhands. Connor Garnett with the Tui Nation hat. Of course, you know he's got to represent it. Using it there, defending the line, gets the passing shot. Garnett would win the first game. Rafa would strike back, get the second game, onto a third, where just too much from Garnett. Not the Tui, though. One-handed forehand there, gets the winner, and on match point.
And he will. Off a big serve, 11-3.
On to the finals we go. Connor Garnett versus Federico Staksrud. No Ben Johns this tournament, so open field, who wants it? And Connor Garnett's going to have a nifty little ATP there. We'd love to see that off the net. Federico, nothing you can do there. However, it was just too much, too good for Federico. Inside out there, and getting up to the kitchen.
He has it all. Federico Staksrud captures his 10th career title and 6th of the year. The most consistent man in singles.
So as you heard, Federico Staksrud, the most consistent player in men's pro singles this year on the PPA Tour, and the data supports that. Not really a controversial take. He is now tied with Ben Johns in gold medals. And if we take a look at the 3-2-1 weighted medals, his lead continues to grow here. Taking a step further, we were able to connect with Koopy Nation. We got his data set, and we can take a look at the men's pro singles average points per tournament. Quick assumption here, we're just going to treat every single event like it's an open, which means 1,000 points for gold, 800 silver, 600 bronze, 400 for 4th place, 200 for a quarterfinal, 100 for a round of 16, and I'm not giving points for making the round of 32. Federico Staksrud is trending up tremendously from 2023 to 2024. He is the single largest stock riser on the men's singles side, with Chris Hayworth, Kwang Duong, Grayson Golden all trailing just behind him. Hey, quick shout out to Hat Kid, Kaysen Campbell. And trending down is none other than Benjamin Johns. Circling back to Federico Staksrud though, let's take a deeper dive. And you can see he is just so consistent. He has made every single semifinal that he has played this year, made it to 14 of 16 finals, winning 6 of those. Truly impressive. Comparing that to Ben Johns, who's not played as many, and while they had the same number of championships, he's not a lock for a semifinal, more prone to upsets. Up next, women's singles will start in the quarterfinals, where Zoe Wong is looking to follow up last week's bronze medal with another run, and she is trailing here, but she was able to get it back from 9-5 all the way now, tied up at 9-9 after this overhead. Once again, no Annalie Waters this week, but it's been kind of fun seeing Brooke Buckner, Zoe Wong, Caitlin Christian make deep runs, getting to kind of know these players a little bit better. There's Mary Brasher with an epic ATP, not going down easily, but on match point, it is too much from Zoe Wong. She covers that kitchen line so well. Drop shot winner, paddle tap, on to the semis. In the semis, Zoe Wong versus Caitlin Christian. Caitlin Christian, of course, coming off of back-to-back silver medals, hoping to change that up, maybe get a gold this week. Has to get through Zoe Wong first, and is able to do that.
Caitlin Christian is in to Championship Sunday. What a performance.
And out of the other half of the bracket, no Brooke Buckner this week. It was Kate Fahey, and this was another great match that went the distance. All 3 games. Here we get split 6-11, 11-6. Caitlin Christian is going to take the lead into the end change, just like she did last week against Brooke Buckner, with a nice winner down the line, hoping, of course, for a different result. But Kate Fahey able to get a pop-up, able to get another pop-up, hit 2 winners. And after defending 1 match point, Caitlin Christian trying to tie it up. Just take a look. And on her 3rd chance at the championship point, Kate Fahey able to get it done.
Fahey takes gold in Salt Lake City, Utah.
So it was Kate Fahey becoming the 7th woman on the PPA Tour to win a women's singles gold medal. Caitlin Christian with her third straight silver, Zoe Wong back-to-back bronze medals, and a quick shout out to Mariana Petri, who came out of the qualifiers, beat Leah Jansen as the 32 seed, made it all the way to the quarterfinals. Name I was not familiar with, but a name maybe keep an eye on. Taking a quick look at the women's singles points, how things have changed year over year. On the left, we have it sorted just by their 2024 points. On the right, we have it sorted by the difference from 2024 to 2023. While Annalie Waters is still absolutely dominant, we've seen Catherine Prento, Leah Jansen, Salome Davidze all slip a little bit. Maybe a little bit of a changing of the guard in that second tier of women's singles player beneath Annalie Waters. Moving along, we pick up men's doubles in the quarterfinals. We have a game point for J.W. Johnson and Dylan Frazier when you're going to see this ball is going to clip the net, catch some backspin, and hit that bar on the Selkirk net. And you know what that means, of course? That is a replay. Maybe there's a product out there, a net out there that doesn't have this bar that PPA should look into. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking crazy here, but after this shot nearly clips the line, all of a sudden, Pablo Tejas and Hayden Patrickman find themselves with an opportunity here, and Dylan, a dink into the net. J.W. Johnson, a dink into the net. Now here's another game point for Johnson and Frazier. The ATP is defended. The firefight is initiated. Just kidding. My bad. It's a dink rally. Pablo Tejas is going to find an Ernie here. Another shot into the net from Dylan Frazier. A missed return from J.W. Johnson. Here's the firefight. I promise you. Hayden Patrickman is going to find the finisher. And after another missed dink from J.W. Johnson, a game that should have been over, it goes the other way. We pick up game two, another tight one. Hayden Patrickman is just going to tee off on Dylan Frazier. Here's another look at that. And here, just go ahead and count the net cords here. Remember, they already got some net cord luck last game.
Everything going Patrickman's way.
Again? Oh my goodness! Was that three?
It was three.
Did he do the three?
He did.
He sure did the three, and on match point, Hayden steps in off a Pablo drive, and we have a massive upset. Kind of felt like it was JW and Dylan's tournament to lose, and now it is wide open. Into the semifinals we go, and this was an instant classic of a match, including this highlight from Pablo Tejas.
Oh, what?
Oh my goodness! Pablo Tejas defending the ATP with an Ernie. What a shot!
There were highlights all over this match, including this shot from Andre Diascu. There was tons of trash talk from Hayden and Gabe. Just, like I said, all around instant classic. Andre and Gabe were able to take game one. However, Hayden and Pablo are going to strike back, take game two. And in game three is when things really jump up to the next level. We'll kick things off in game three with a defensive rally from Pablo and Hayden. They've got Andre and Gabe at the kitchen line, banging away at them, just trying to keep this thing alive. They're going to work their way back up, and then I don't even know how to describe what happens here. And that's not even the furthest out of bounds that this team would hit the ball, because after this return was missed, yeah, Hayden's had enough of it. And we might as well keep the unforced errors going, because on the first match point, Andre Diascu dink into the net. We have another match point for Andre and Gabe, and Pablo's going to fire one.
Oh, no.
Man down.
Everybody wants to be tall until they start trying to body bag you. Anyway, Pablo and Hayden able to tie it up, getting fired up here, trying to take the lead now. Get into a little bit of a firefight. Hayden gets it right at Gabe's feet. All of a sudden, the match point has swung the other way, and on the shake and bake, Hayden can't quite get the paddle out in front of him. Andre and Gabe trying to tie it up, and Hayden and Pablo seem to think that ball clipped Gabe's paddle. Gabe adamant it did not. They did take a quick look at it. It didn't really look like anything conclusive to me. Next rally, Pablo Tejas speed up into the net, and another match point for Gabe and Andre.
To Championship Sunday. What a moment for the 35-year-old's Romanian tower number one, Andre Diascu.
On to the Championship Sunday final, where we have Matt Wright and James Ignatowicz, and we have a foot fault to end the game. This one, after that semifinal match, was a little bit of a letdown. Just couldn't quite match the energy. James and Matt just never really found their groove. Here we've got a speed up, going to catch Matt Wright on the hands. Here we've got Matt Wright into the net. Here we've got Matt Wright into the net in transition. They tried putting Matt on the left side, into the net again. Another foot fault.
Fault to rub salt in the wound.
And this one eventually fizzled out. Andre and Gabe get the gold, but there was one question on everybody's minds.
Lastly, Gabe, where's the pizza?
So it's Andre and Gabe joining Christian Alshon and Federico Staksrud in a tie for 5th place this year with 2 gold medals apiece. Of course, J.W. Johnson, Dylan Frazier, and the Johns Bros with 5 apiece. And guys, I know we've talked about the Johns brothers in a bit of a medal drought, in fact, going all the way back to April, but JW and Dylan haven't won one in a few months either. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that in any given PPA tournament, there's going to be 4 or 5 teams that can realistically challenge for a gold medal. It's genuinely exciting. Here, taking a look at the average points per tournament played, again using the same methodology and data set as before. The one thing that immediately jumped out to me is over here to the far right, we have our stock falling. This is just sorted by the year-to-year change, putting the biggest drops at the top, and the top 4, that looks an awful lot like your average final from the 2022 season. Now, of course, Ben Johns and Colin Johns are still towards the top over here in the far left, just sorted by 2024 points. But since the breakup, Matt Wright and Riley Newman are not top 10 players this year. This middle table, very topical, with Gabe Tardio and Andre Deascu being the 2 biggest stock risers of the season. We're going to have some more fun with charts in just a little bit. We've got some awesome new visuals that I can generate for every single player in the PPA database. But first, we've got to talk about women's doubles. Let's jump into the round of 16, where Leah Jansen and Tina Pisnik are one of 3 teams with a gold medal in women's doubles on the PPA Tour this year. Mari Humberg and Georgia Johnson with a pair of match points, and Mari's going to have a little bit of trouble with the dinks riding the net there. And we've seen in a few matches so far in this highlight package, you really want to close these teams out when you have the chance, especially the ones that know how to get it done when it matters. Tina and Leia, they know how to get it done when it matters. They're going to get it all the way back to 10-10 here, but after a very well taken timeout by Georgia and Mari, a very good match meets an anticlimactic end as Leia Jansen dumps 2 dinks into the net.
Close it out. Mari Humberg, Georgia Johnson.
And sure enough, Georgia Johnson and Mari Humberg would find themselves in the championship against none other than the girlies, who of course are no strangers to Championship Sunday. There is Georgia Johnson closing out game 2 with a pretty sweet ATP, little help off the net. But ultimately, Anna Bright, Rachel Rohrbacher, just too good. Here they are playing defense, making them hit one more ball, getting it in transition, not afraid to attack it. Georgia puts it in the net. Anna Bright, top spin lob up 9-4, gonna find the put away after that, and she's gonna try another one of these lobs on match point, and yeah.
Crushed it.
Oh, no.
Oh no, a foot fault. That's not the way this is supposed to end.
So given the field with no Annalie Waters or Catherine Brento, it is hard to be too surprised by that result. Annalie Waters and Catherine lead the field with 10 gold medals, then Anna Bright and Rachel Rohrbacher with 5, and as we mentioned, Tina and Leia got the 1 gold medal together. There's really a pretty clear Tier 1A and Tier 1B, which is just those 2 top teams. Taking a quick look at who are the biggest stock risers and fallers of women's pro doubles. Rachel Rohrbacher, of course, passed her audition on the Orlando Squeeze next to Anna Bright last year. Then it was Catherine Brento who got the full-time gig next to Annalie Waters. That's helping out her numbers. You've got Mari Humberg, Tina Pisnik, Georgia Johnson, Vivian Glossman also coming off very strong in 2024. On these stock fallers, I wouldn't read too much into Paris Todd's number here. She only played 3 events last year. You can see one little data error here. I forgot to combine Lucy Kovalova and Lucia Kovalova. And now we've got to talk about mixed doubles.
Gabe Tardio on the right.
0-0-1.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, we are not done talking about Gabe Tardio by any stretch. He started off in the right in this match, and they started off red hot, getting out to a 6-0 lead against the Johnson sibling. After winning the first game, they found themselves with their 4th attempt at a match point. And I don't know what it is, but I feel like a lot of the time on match points, they get these really long team rallies. Teams just kind of want to play conservative. Nobody wants to be the one to mess up. And this was a pattern we saw a lot of in this match, but ultimately it is Gabe on the counter, and they would advance all the way to the finals, where they would take on James Ignatowicz and Anna Bright. Now, as we saw in that last match, Jessie Irvin got into a lot of dink rallies with the women when they were cross court. Sometimes they put Gabe on the right side, kind of change things up. She just does a really good job of playing her game, played so solid. A lot of the times you'll see her play a few steps off the line, really gives Gabe a lot of room to come in and poach. There he is for the game winner, and Gabe won. But with that in mind, Jessie did have a very selective but very effective trigger pull in this match. She was able to find the speed ups in the right spots. Here we even get a little bit of a shake and bake with a Jessie drive, a Gabe crash, a nice Gabe Tardio dink winner. James thought about doing his Sports Center shot, and on match point, it was Jessie Irvin there with the counter.
Jessie Irvin closes it out on James Ignatowicz. Cinderella story complete. Jessie Irvin and Gabe Tardio have done it. They are the champions of the Pickler Utah Open.
Jesse Irvin and Gabe Tardio each pick up their first gold mixed doubles medal of the year. In fact, this is Jesse Irvin's first overall gold medal since 2022. Ben and Anna Lee, of course, leading the field here, head and shoulders above everyone else. We've got our 3-2-1 weighted medals chart. You can see Anna Bright closing the gap a little bit. And taking a look at our stock risers and stock fallers, there really hasn't been much change at the top. Anna Lee Waters and Ben Johns still winning at the same clip as always. But there's been a pretty decent shakeup in that next tier of players. You've got Riley Newman and Tyson McGuffin, who are not getting the results they got last year. Riley Newman, of course, has only played 6 tournaments. Catherine Parento has not been doing very well with Jack Sock. It seems like that partnership might be dead. Thanks to a data error, you've got Matt Wright sandwiched in between 2 Lucy Kovalovas. Over here in the stock risers, Andre Diescu. This result will go a long way to boosting up Gabe Tardio on this chart. So moving on, I'm really excited for this next segment. We are going to have fun with charts. Again, major shout out to Koopy Nation, aka Odoth, for hooking me up with his data set. I sent it all through Power BI, came up with these visuals. We can generate these reports for any player. So if I didn't cover your favorite player or you want to see someone, let me know in the comments. We'll start off with Benjamin Johns, of course. It's been talked about a lot with the gender doubles results slipping. Federico Staksrud, he's starting to make it through in doubles and get some golds. Still looking for that mixed breakthrough. And of course in singles, he is just so solid. J.W. Johnson definitely fallen off a little bit in singles. Dylan Frazier, on the other hand, started off hot, won the very first gold of the year in men's singles. Hasn't been back to the final since, but is still very strong next to J.W. Johnson in gender doubles. But his mixed results, Gabe Tardio, one of our biggest stock risers of the year. In 16 events last year, he only made 2 semifinals in men's doubles. He already has 2 men's doubles gold medals in just 9 tournaments this year. Last year in mixed doubles, only made it to the round of 16 3 times. And as we just saw, he's becoming quite the force. Very versatile. Put him on the left, put him on the right. He very well might be the next big thing if you had to pick one player. Although, you might go with this next guy, Hayden Patriquin. Hey, those last 2 guys on the St. Louis Shock, maybe watch out for that team. And a few players not quite doing as hot. We've talked about Riley Newman. I don't know, maybe I'm just that Riley Newman hater, although I do kind of like the guy. I think he's a very fun player to watch and has a unique style, so I would like to see him get back to the top. And another one who's struggling, Julian Arnold. The deep singles runs aren't really happening anymore. Hasn't been to a final yet in either doubles event. Something to keep an eye on. Now let's have some fun with the charts, Ladies' Night edition. We've got Anna Lee Waters, where these funnel charts are just kind of funny looking. I mean, it looks more like a cinder block. I don't know. Catherine Parento falling off maybe a little bit in singles, but full-time next to Anna Lee Waters, solid as ever. And in mixed results, as we touched on with Jack Sock, that wasn't really working out. Rachel Rohrbacher had never even been to a doubles semifinal last year. She's been to 9 of 12 in the events she's played in women's doubles. Leah Jansen has broken through, got her 2 gold medals in women's singles, but has been much less consistent in those early rounds. She made 7 of 11 finals last year. In 2024, only 3 of 15. And similar to Julian Andiamo-Arnold, Lauren Stratman, also a bit of a fall off. And to close things out this week, we're going to do another mailbag or just Pickleball Twitter hot takes. I asked for hot takes. Let's see if y'all delivered. Starting off, we've got Darnell Clutch. All serve technique restrictions should be removed. This tweet is approved by Zane Navratil. I talked about this subject last week, so I'm a little burnt out on it. Let's move along. Win by 1 in every game. This is from a Sleeves Pickleball report, and I think he's telling me this is what they do in the National Pickleball League. That would be interesting, and they did sudden death rally scoring at the APP Shuffle in New York City earlier this year. I was at that event, and I saw some interesting things. I did see a player on a 20-20 rally miss a serve and lose the match that way. I do like when we get extra pickleball, though. Frank, the CEO of Pickleball. Frank, if you're out there, I see you, man. You're out there tweeting more than me. That's hard to do. He wants bigger stands at PPA events, creates a much better experience for the event and spectating online. I think it's just a matter of if you build it, will they come? You want to have packed stands, but you also want to have big stands. But if you go too big, Chris Cali, sorry not sorry, who, by the way, unfortunately is back. I did my best to get him canceled last week. Here's what he had to say about that.
We're back, baby. Let's go. Yes. No, this was not Maddie Pickles and Basil the dog. Okay, that one I can't quite rule out.
I'll just have to try harder next time. But he wants to know your least favorite commercial that you see on stream. This last time, I saw a lot of kid commercials for like toys and stuff. There was one called Doodle Jams that looked pretty cool. All those seatbelt commercials, I don't know. Elwood S says, instead of ending at 11 points, play each game to 15 win by 2. Here's my corresponding hot take. I don't want PPA Championship Sunday doubles matches to be 3 of 5. I'm okay with 2 or 3. It really just keeps things moving, keeps the momentum, the energy up. We get more upsets. Maybe that's a hot take, but how about this? Maybe a compromise is we do 2 of 3 still on Champ Sunday, but we play those games to 15. Think about it. Just think about it. Okay, here we go. Sue says she heard this from her son the other day. He's a tennis pro, keep in mind. In order for pickleball to gain more respectability, we should think about changing the name to something different. Well, my response was that we're kind of past being respected. The cat's out of the bag on that one. There's no shortage of pickleball haters, and I don't think the name is going to save us. Next, Pickleball says pro pickleball viewership is near its peak. And sometimes I can't help but agree with this. You know, I kind of thought we would have grown a little bit more than this with how many people are playing. But of course, I got ratioed. Yikes wants to know what's the first thing a 3.5 should perfect. I don't know if you guys saw Anna Bright guessing my duper last week, but I don't think I'm the person to ask for this question. Ash, no timeouts ever. I do think there's maybe a little bit of a player safety concern. The events like MLP Kansas City, where it was like 120 degrees on the court or something crazy. Probably need a timeout or 2 for that. Here's one. Playing with your ex is more difficult than playing with your spouse. I've played with my spouse before, not in a tournament or anything. Don't have any experience playing with an ex. If anyone's out there who does have experience playing with their ex, let me know how it went in the comments. Jump G wants to limit dinking. Maybe we need to bring back the shot clock discussion. Mustache Gaming. Salt Lake had some of the most terrible courts I've seen. Is no one going to talk about the bounce and the bubbling? These courts were so bad and people were hating on Pickle Roll so much that Pickle Roll had to release a statement saying these were not Pickle Roll courts. This was somebody else. This was not me. We've already seen some reports too of the courts in Las Vegas, and yeah, buckle up. David Schinnebarger, paddle tech doesn't matter for 90% of the player base. Footwork, stroke, form, technique, placement, and decision-making strategy is far more important. Yeah, this is probably true, but all those things take work. I'm just going to buy an expensive paddle. By the way, I did that. I got the new Pro XR Zane Navratil Sweet Spot 16 Max, and it's pretty fun. And the last hot take doesn't even come on this thread. Ryan DeWidgeon, a.k.a. Pickleball, a.k.a. the actual GM of the Texas Ranchers, posted a poll on Twitter asking what level people thought Andre Agassi is at pickleball. I said he was a 4.0, which quickly prompted 3 voice memos sent to me, in which I was accused of not knowing ball because Ryan has it on authority that several high-level pro players were playing with him this weekend think he can make it out of a PPA qualifier. I'd like to see him try. That feels like a pretty good spot to end it. Please like, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Keep an eye out for me on Sunday at Championship Court at PPA Las Vegas. So to close things out, send it off to Basil the dog.